Today I'm going to be talking about how to handle immense spiritual warfare and why this happens. But before I talk about this a little bit more in detail, I'm going to be going after to incorporate bodybuilding. I believe building the body, building the temple of God is truly important in journey with Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That's why I always like to incorporate them both inside my videos. So if you clicked on this video, God has for you here this message today. So make sure you guys stick around because I'm going to be going after this before we delve a bit more into the message. Feel free to skip ahead in the timestamps are below. That's why I put them there for you guys. If not, stick around, enjoy this little workout montage, and I'll see you guys after. So enjoy.
Ay. And I'm right back in the A. Smooth, I ain't leave him no trace. Rest on me. Rest on me, fresh out the chase. You got it off the display. I got it from the runway. I got it. Fuck it, I go out the blank. Don't do this shit for the fame. Stacking these Benjamin Franks. You rich, they don't give you no rank. You thinking it's that, but it ain't. They put on my back in the A. Pulling up all kind of ways. Ay.
Welcome back, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a workout montage. We're going to be jumping right into today's topic. It's going to be how to handle immense spiritual warfare. So I for here from number one, which is going to be in prayer consistently. And I have a Bible verse out of Philippians 4:6 that says, "Don't be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." So a breakdown is to replace anxiety with prayer. Instead of dwelling on worries, the verse directs you to communicate with God about everything on your mind. When you're going through some spiritual warfare, you're going to want to be aware that you want to be in constant prayer, communication with God, because that's how you get to defend yourself from the spiritual wickedness in high places, because our battle is against spirits. It's not against, flesh and blood, but against spirits in, high places. So we got to be aware that, God is going to protect us, but how? Through prayer. So we have to pray. We have to put on the armor of God, the helmet of salvation, and just really focus on His word, focus on what He wants us to do, and just know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper in Jesus' name. So you guys would be aware of this and always communicating and always just saying, Bible verses to yourself when you're going through something. You could pull up that Bible verse and, all right, wow, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me when you're going through a trial and tribulation, when you're going through immense spiritual warfare. I mean, I don't know if you guys could see it, but I cut my hand here when I was doing some of the barbell movements for triceps, and I literally started bleeding and everything, but I was like, God would never give me something I can't handle. And I literally just cleaned it up a little bit, got back to my workout. I'm not gonna be a little bitch and quit my workout and go not work out because I hurt my hand. No, I'm pushing through. I'm a fucking man. I'm gonna get hurt when I'm training. It's just how it is. You gotta deal with that. I know every time God gives me something, He wouldn't give me something I can't handle, and that's so true. It's literally in the Bible. God would never give you something that you cannot handle. So be aware of this technology and just always trust in His plan over your plan. So moving in here, number two is going to be walking by faith and not by sight. So I have from 2 Corinthians 5:7 that says, "We live by faith and not by sight." And I have a breakdown that says, focus on the eternal. And this approach prioritizes spiritual and eternal realities over the intimate, temporal concerns of the present world. You guys gotta be aware when you're new to your faith, when you're new to your walk with Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you have, the faith of what we call mustard seed. It's not that big, you can barely even see it if you look it up. It's a very, very small seed. But that seed, how Jesus explains in the Bible, is it, literally grows into a nice, beautiful, big tree that produces fruit.
On the way to Jairus' house in Capernaum, what happened when the woman Veronica touched me?
Power went out from you.
No, I mean, what happened to her?
You said, "Daughter, go in peace. Your faith has made you well."
Your what?
Faith.
Her faith. Many of you are afraid right now, instead of choosing to have faith in me.
Rabbi, increase our faith.
Judas, if you had faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, you could say to a mulberry tree, "Be uprooted and planted in the sea," and it would obey you.
Like Judas said, you increase our faith.
It's not about size, Philip. It's about who your faith is in. If your faith is secure in God, trusting His promises, choosing His will for your life instead of your own, this sized faith is enough.
So you guys got to be aware that, something so small, if you water that plant, if you take care of that plant, if you nurture that, you got to be aware that it will grow into something that's very valuable, that will literally produce, a lot of assets just from that little seed. So you got to be aware that if you keep focusing on your journey with God, if you are walking by faith and not by sight, the spiritual warfare you're going through will not, overcome you, will not have any effect on you. You're going to be aware of this, that walking by faith and not by sight is kind of hard when you're going through some spiritual warfare. It's kind of going to mess with you a little bit, here and there. But, over time, once you go through, different spiritual warfare encounters, they're going to be more intense and more, stronger. You grow in your walk with Jesus Christ of Nazareth. But as you go stronger, those battles will become harder, but you're just slowly going up on the ladder, going closer to God. That's why He's giving you these battles for a specific reason. Everything He gives you has a reason, has a purpose, has something to learn behind it. And you always got to be acknowledging this. Sometimes it's hard to, take a step back and reflect, oh, wow, I'm going through a lot right now. This kind of sucks, but hey, what would God want me to do? What do you want me to do, God? Just be in communication with Him and walk by faith and not just by sight. Like, hey, I'm going to get out of this. Hey, we're going to get through this. Hey, I know what's coming for me. I know what God has ahead, for me. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep, making content. I'm going to keep showing up in the gym. I'm going to keep, giving people knowledge and wisdom to help them on their journey with God, because I was once lost like them, and I want them to find the truth, find the realities of this world that they've, been put in by God. So moving on here, number 3 is going to be patient in the battle. And I from here, James 5:7-8 that says, be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. So breakdown is be patient. This verse calls for long suffering and endurance in the face of trials and tribulations and waiting. And another breakdown is going to be establish your heart. This means building a solid, stable foundation in faith so that you are not shaken by difficulties, and involves trusting God's plan and timing. So you're going to be aware when you're going through, some spiritual warfare. It might just not be one day. It might be a week of spiritual warfare. It might be a month of spiritual warfare. This could be a season. So you guys be aware of that, and just always prepare yourself each and every single day through waking up and prayer. That's why I always say, part of my morning routine is before I leave my bed, before I do anything, I go into prayer with God and I start to pray. I say, hey, one of my most important things I make sure I say is, hey, help me to deny my flesh, pick up my cross, and follow you, and then followed by any other things that really, I hear from the Spirit that I should ask for, for God today, for guidance, for wisdom, for knowledge, for, working through me and using me for these YouTube videos and speaking through me. You guys got to be aware to allow God to work through to you. That's a very, big aspect. And being patient is another one as well. When you're going through these, immense spiritual warfare battles, like I said, they could be, a day, a week, a month. And you got to be aware that being patient, enduring and just, going through it and building and growing in that time, even though it doesn't feel like you're growing, you are growing. Trust me, it sucks. You don't want to go through it, but when you come out of that storm into the next chapter, just a season of calmness, a season where everything's kind of smooth, everything's just, falling into the places. You're going to be very thankful you went through that, period, because now there are other things you could learn from and take in that new chapter, and you're more mature, you're more valuable into this season to help other individuals that might be, not as mature as you, maybe not as wise as you, maybe not have as much patience as you. So this could help them to look up to you as a role model, to gain that patience, to gain that knowledge, to gain that wisdom, and to endure those trials and tribulations that you have once gone through. You're like a beacon of hope to them. So that's all I have for you guys today. So hopefully you guys, enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe down below, share this video with someone that you think needs to hear this message today, and I'll see you guys for the next one. So a beautiful, blessed day in Jesus' name. Peace.